And I remember the time, he's like, I don't understand. I feel like something's stirring up in my heart, and I don't know what's going on. I can't understand why you're doing what it is that you're doing. And so we explained more and more about our organization and what the driving force was. And on a part of our team that linked up with us in Peru was a little Scottish woman by the name of Dot. But we called her Rambo. You know why we called her Rambo? Yes, she had a red scarf on her head. It was because she was relentless about the gospel. I mean, she was like a machine gun. You got in her way, boom! You don't have a choice but to be a Jesus follower, right? And so we're sitting there and we're talking, and she's like elbowing me at lunch. She's like, what are you gonna do? And she's got these sharp little elbows. I'm like, just stop. And then finally, I didn't share the gospel the way I should have. Do you know why? I'm gonna be honest with you. I was scared. And everybody expected me to be the evangelizer, to be the guy who's bringing this great news. Oh, Damon's got it. He's got the gift. I was scared. I didn't want to ruin the relationship with the municipal mayor. And so finally, Dot was like, she basically just kind of pushed me aside. She goes, and she went straight systematically on him. Look, we've been talking to you about Jesus, the life, the death, the resurrection, how he's Lord and how he saved the whole world, died for all the sins. Do you or do you not want him? I'm like, whoa, this is like an MMA fight. She's like going, And finally, those eyes are locked. And all of a sudden, he just goes, yes. And I was like, boom, implosion. And he had his number 2 there. She's like, you want him too? She's like, absolutely. I don't know, maybe he was just scared of Dot. You know what I mean? Right? She was vicious. She was relentless. She was like a badger, right? So all of a sudden, all 3 become believers. The next day, he calls me up, Pancho, listen to me. It's like, I need you to go in front of all my leaders, and I want you to talk to them about what SOF Missions is doing, all the work you're doing for the orphans and the widows, and then I want you to talk to them about Jesus. Can you do that? I'm like, second chance. All of a sudden, I'm invited, and I'm sitting here in basically like a theater like this, and there were about 80 of them, and here's the funny thing. All 80 of them were like in the back. So there was all these rows from here, and I'm sitting there and I'm talking about SOF Missions, which orphanages we're going to rebuild, how many medical clinics we're going to be doing, what school we're looking at building, stuff like that. And then finally, at that moment of truth, guess what happened? I froze. Like, this is my superpower, man. And then all of a sudden, one of my buddies comes on up and he whispers in my ear, he goes, Damon, God is with you. And I felt like a bolt of lightning, like a jolt just go right through my whole body. Like it was just like electricity from my head all the way down to my toes. And I looked at them straight right across that room, the way that I'm looking at the room at the end over here. And I said, listen, I've been talking to you about Jesus for the last hour. The truth, the way, the life. If you want Jesus today, stand up and come on forward. And let me tell you something, 0.0 nano of a second, 12 people stood up as fast as they could. And like in the Olympics, they got that weird sport, like speed walking. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, it just looks strange. They're like going so fast, but they're like speed walking. They were like speed walking all the way in the front. And all of a sudden, another dozen. Before you know it, right in the very front, we have over 60 leaders in the community coming forward, wanting, yearning, crying for this salvation. It was mind-blowing.